So I'm recording this a couple weeks in advance, so if you're watching this, congratulations, we have made it to 2024. You can never tell these days if the apocalypse isn't gonna just, happen. So, yeah. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday, ate lots of good food, sung some carols, I don't know. More importantly, I hope you all read some good books. I know I did. In fact, I recently posted my tier list for my entire year of 2023, in which I read 75 books in total. Now, if you remember all the way back last year when I made that TBR video, I set my goal for 40. So, I think I did a pretty good job. I think one of the reasons for that was having this channel, having this constant motivation to keep reading more stuff. A lot of people will look at readers like me or others who read even more than I do and think we're a little bit insane. The fact is, if you just focus on reading, you can really get a lot done. And I intend to also get a lot done in 2024. So welcome to my official plan for the new year. I will be getting into all of the series I will be continuing, the stuff I will be starting, as well as many other books coming out that I have my eyes on. Now, as always, this is not going to be 100% representative of what actually happens. It is very likely I will read far more books than what's actually mentioned here, and sometimes these plans don't always come to fruition, though I probably have like an 80% success rate at this point, so yeah, take that for what it's worth. A big reading goal I had last year was to finish the Stormlight Archive, which hopefully I have done by now. And that puts me up to date with Brandon Sanderson's, most notable series, Mistborn and Stormlight. But I still do have a number of his other books to read, namely the 4 secret projects that came out in 2023, which I never got around to because I was busy catching up. But now with my Sanderson slate pretty much clean, I will be reading those probably all in the first half of the year. Starting with Chess of the Emerald Sea, which my book club will probably be getting to at the end of January. Besides that, I also have Legion to read, and I think after that, we're pretty much done with Sanderson. I've read nearly all of his stuff now. It's only just the middle grade stuff and the rest of the Reckoner series, and I don't really care for those, so whatever. Also, there's a new Dark One audiobook coming out in the spring that I'll also go through. But after that, I will be taking, I think, a well-deserved break from Sanderson. I love his books, but it's a lot. Until, of course, likely one of the most anticipated releases of the year, Wind and Truth, which is the 5th Stormlight book, which is already going to be a monumental occasion, but even more so that this is the finale of the current arc in the first 5 Stormlight books. That is going to be a massive release, and it's probably going to be one of the last books I finish this year, so still a ways in the future, but I am very excited. And the best part is, if you want to be caught up by then, well, you have a whole year to do so. It's a big series, it's a big undertaking, but if you start right now, you'll have more than enough time. As for other things I'm currently making my way through, of course, you have the Wheel of Time and the First Law series, which I have been alternating. I just finished Best Served Cold, so now we'll be moving into the Dragon Reborn. Then it's the Heroes, Shadow Rising, Red Country, and Sharp Ends, because they're both short. Fires of Heaven, the Age of Madness trilogy, which I'll probably be doing all together, and I will continue on from there. After I finish First Law, I will substitute it in for another fantasy series, which is a secret. You don't know that one yet. You know me, I'm not spilling all my secrets here. And based on my outline I did for myself, I hope to at least be finished the first 10 Wheel of Time books by the end of the year. Again, the series is so long, I don't know, we'll see how it goes, but that is the current plan. Now, while that is my biggest overarching reading goal of the year, I also like to have goals for audiobooks, which is, of course, how I consumed most of the Stormlight archive. So now that slot is sort of open, what are we going to do there? I'm pleased to announce that starting in February, I'm going to be beginning a series that I have really wanted to get into for a while, and that is The Realm of the Elderlings by Robin Hobb. Now, this series is massive. It has even more books than The Wheel of Time, so it's definitely not something I will commit to reading the entirety of this year, but I am looking to take out quite a few of them, give you my thoughts. I'm very excited. Now, those won't be the only things I listen to on audio. There's going to be a bunch of other stuff too. That will probably be my main audio series for the full year. As for other new series, I'm also intending to start Discworld very soon. Discworld, of course, has 40 books, and I'm not going to be making any big commitments at all, but I own Small Gods and I own Mort, and those are the 2 I plan to read in the near future. I know there's all these sub-series and other starting points and all this stuff, but for now, I'm just going to be dipping my toes and figure out what it's all about. And as for other series that are going to be continuing into this year, we of course have the Dresden Files, of which I've read read the first 3 books, and this year I really hope to make some good progress. Again, I won't be committing to a number that I want to read. I think there's a new book coming out this year, and I definitely won't be caught up for it. But yeah, it's one I just want to steadily keep trucking along with. Probably once I hit book 6 or so, I'll make another full video. There's also the Poppy War. I still don't know if I've recovered from reading the first one, but I'd like to continue it at some point. So yeah, I've not forgotten about it. The Dragon Republic will come one day. Now, while not really a series, I kind of look at my journey through Stephen King's bibliography as one, and this year I plan to make some progress there too. Obviously, you have his brand new book, Some Like It Darker, which I believe is a short story novella collection. Definitely a day one buy and read for me, but what's interesting is that one of these stories in here, I believe to be a sequel to Cujo, which is not what I expected, but okay. And I haven't actually read Cujo yet, so I'm making that one a priority. I also want to take out some of his more classic books that I haven't gotten around to yet. The big 3 being The Green Mile, 11/22/63, and Needful Things. That'll be what I'm looking at for this year, but we'll see how it goes. You never know, I could read something else. Gonna talk about some manga now. Now, I just finished Land of the Lustrous, which was fire. It was excellent. Check it out. And now the only real leftover from my old channel is Eden, It's an Endless World. I know I tried to finish it last year. It didn't really work out, so I'm hoping to get it all done in January, although I have been very bad at keeping up with my manga. I'm gonna try better. Because also in January, there's a series ending that I've been wanting to get into for years, and that is Noragami. One I started a while ago, absolutely loved what I read, and now that it's finally ending, I definitely want to give it a full read through. My friend and podcast co-host Shrugpod recently made an exchange with me where he is going to read all of Kaguya-sama Love is War, which is my favorite manga, and I'm going to read all of Fire Force, which is no one's favorite manga, but it's one that Shrugpod has been really wanting me to read for years. And it's one I've tried to get into multiple times, and I've never been able to. But if he's going to read Kaguya, I'll take one for the team, I suppose. That'll probably be in the spring. And as always with manga, if any of these long-running ones that I keep up with decide to end, then I'll be pretty much dropping everything to focus on rereading those and completing them. But you see, a lot of these manga seem to be in a state of seemingly never ending, so I don't know what's gonna happen. But yes, I am hoping this year that we do get to do some more manga content on the channel, because there wasn't much last time, and I kind of feel bad about that, but also not really, so yeah, whatever, we'll see. There's a couple other miscellaneous books I just want to mention. I've talked about them before. We have Earthlings, which I don't know anything about, but it is going to be the next book that our book club is reading. And then Mickey 7, which is soon going to be a movie from Bong Joon-ho that I'm very excited for, so I definitely want to read that book before the movie comes out. And as for some brand new releases that are coming out in 2024, one of my favorite horror authors, Stephen Graham Jones, has actually given us 2 books this year. First one being the conclusion to his Indian Lake trilogy, and that's the Angel of Indian Lake. If you remember, I loved the second one, Don't Fear the Reaper, so yeah, day one buy for me. Cannot wait to see how this all wraps up. And in the summer, he has I Was a Teenage Slasher coming out, which definitely sounds like it's in the spirit of the Indian Lake trilogy, but also might be a bit campier. We'll see. Either way, I'm really excited for that one too. So I've sort of been wanting to check out Leigh Bardugo's books, just because she's so popular. Like, so many people love her books, and it's not really like a Sarah J. Maas situation where I feel like I would just hate these. Like, oh, some of them seem pretty cool. And she has a brand new, I believe to be standalone book coming out in the spring, The Familiar, and I think I'm gonna give that one a whirl. We'll see how it goes. Again, I don't know really anything about her books, but I think I'm gonna try that one out. The team behind The Expanse also has a brand new series starting, and again, The Expanse is something that's on my radar, but I don't know when I'm gonna be getting around to it. But I have watched a bit of the show, and I really enjoyed what I saw. Anyway, they have a new book coming out, The Mercy of the Gods, and I think that might be my entry point into their books. So, we'll see how that goes. Unrelated to The Mercy of the Gods is The Fury of the Gods by John Gwynne, which is the conclusion to the Bloodsworn saga, which is a series that I have been pretty much in love with ever since I got into them, and that is absolutely a day one buy for me. Interesting enough, there hasn't seemed to be like an official announcement around this book, but like there is a title and there is a release date floating around, so it might just be tentative stuff, but if it does come out, I'll be eating good. There'll be a new Percy Jackson book, definitely going to check that one out as well. And the sequel to a book I really enjoyed a couple years ago, The House in the Cerulean Sea, is also coming out. I've been a fan of T.J. Klune so far, and I am really excited to jump back into that world, because while it is a great standalone, it's one that, you know, I kind of wish I kind of want to spend more time with Chauncey, you know? And then, as I already mentioned, we will be ending the year with Wind and Truth. So yes, that is the plan for the time being. It is going to be a pretty wild year. Now, I have set my reading goal for 50, and you're saying, well, that's a bit of a lowball compared to this year. The thing is, I never know how busy I'll be, and I am reading a lot of larger books this year. So I am being a bit conservative here, because, you know what, I still want to reach the goal. That's like an average of 1 book a week. That's still, God, how did I even read 75? That's ridiculous. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I'll be back soon. We have Rhythm of War and Best Served Cold to talk about, and then I'll be jumping into all the aforementioned stuff. So you can leave your thoughts on any of these books in the comments down below. Let me know some of the stuff you plan to be reading in 2024, and I will see you all then.